Hello, welcome to the TryLine podcast. I'm your host, Bo. This is my co-host, the People's host, Denny. How you going, mate?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Did you enjoy the weekend of footy? I thought it was a cracking weekend.
Yeah, I did. I thought most of the games were pretty competitive.
Not too often the Eagles and Cowboys win in the same week in the last couple of years, so it's good to see a couple of those things happening for us, and the podcast is flying. We're enjoying our life. Cowboys are entrenched in the top 8, solidified in the top 8 at the moment. But let's go. Hugh, we got a question from Hugh. Contenders or pretenders in the top 8? I'm going to go from 1st to 8th. Panthers.
They're contenders, for sure.
I agree. Contenders. Storm.
Contenders.
Contenders. Eels.
Contenders.
Still contenders.
Oh, yeah.
Sharkies?
You know what? I haven't really had a look at their draw so far, but I thought they've played well against those harder teams. Against those tougher teams. Like the Storm and Eels. I thought they did well against Storm and they beat Parrot, obviously. So I'm going to go contenders.
I left that Storm game thinking these teams, they can match it with some of the best sides. So
yeah.
I'm going contenders. Cowboys?
Pretenders. No way.
Yeah, they're pretenders, I think. I'm still waiting for that penny to drop for the Cowboys. It's really sad that we lost to the Warriors by 1 point in a game that we should have won, and we definitely should have beat the Bulldogs round 1.
Yeah.
We'd be sitting equal with the Storm right now in second position.
Yeah, well, I think you guys have you only versed one team inside the top 8 this year? The Roosters?
So from last year's top 8?
No, from this year's. As of right now.
Yeah, I think the Roosters.
Okay, and you've got done.
Yeah, we got smashed.
Yeah, so, yeah.
You love to see it.
Yeah, pretenders.
Roosters. Speaking of the Roosters. They're a team that can peak at the right time.
As of right now, I'm going to say pretenders.
I'm saying contenders. I'll back Robbo in.
No, I'm not backing them. Right now, no, I don't think they're contenders.
All right, Manly. Discount Tommy at your own peril, mate. You done it last year. You wrote him off. And he had probably the best individual season of all time.
I did.
I'm going to say they're still contenders.
I'm going to say pretenders. Wait until Tommy gets back, then they're contenders. But right now, yeah.
South.
Pretenders.
They're pretenders.
Yeah, I think the top 4 contenders, bottom 4 pretenders.
All right. Yeah, I don't like South's chances. I still think they'll make the 8, but I don't think they'll do a lot more than that. We had heaps of questions about the Knights. Talk about pretenders. They were in first position at the start of the year. Now I think they're in 14th. Is that correct?
They are in 14th, yeah.
Yep. So Aiden says Knights 5 losses in a row. Hayes says how bad the Knights are. Tomo, the Knights downfall. And we had one from Casey, Knights performances. Well, let's look at their 5 losses. 38-20 to the Panthers, 18-0 against the Sharks, 30-6 against the Sea Eagles, 21-16 against the Dragons, and 39-2 against the Eels. We like to talk about pivotal moments in the NRL. Last year, we talked about the barbecue at length on this show. We loved it.
Yep.
After the barbecue, they didn't win another game for the rest of the year. Didn't win a couple. They won one in their next 15 or something like that. Mm-hmm. Before Mitch Barnett's send-off, all right, before Mitch Barnett got sent off for the Knights had scored 42 points and had 14 points scored against them.
Yep.
Since that moment, they've scored 38 points and had 137 scored against them.
There you go. There's got to be some kind of correlation between the two.
Well, they were up against the Panthers at the time, 6-4.
Yeah, they were. And they just fell apart.
Absolutely. Fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
So score 42 points in your first 2 games and then only score 38 points in your next 5?
Yeah, 5.
Yeah. And I counted the start of that game, so you tack on 6 points because he didn't get simmed in until like 30 minutes in or something like that.
Yeah, right.
But, yeah, so Mitch Barnett going down. The downfall of the Knights begun. They were terrible last week. They were pretty bad against the Dragons in a game that you maybe thought they were a chance of winning, especially earlier in the year. 18-0 against the Sharks. They didn't get off the paddock for that one. And then the one that sticks out for me is the 30-6 against the Seagulls at home the week after they lost Tommy, the Seagulls.
Yeah. And I thought the Knights were going to win for all money. surely. But, yeah.
So where do you have the Knights landing?
Oh, at the end of the year or what?
Yeah.
Oh, bottom 8, surely. But whereabouts? Maybe where they're at now, 14th? 14th to 12th?
Entrenched in the bottom 4.
14th to 12th, mate. I'll maybe miss the bottom 4.
So that takes me on to another question that we got.
Mm-hmm.
Is Ponga worth the money?
I think so. I think he's shown what he can do, and I think it's definitely worth the gamble, for sure. There's not many players out there that are on his level. Like, when he's going, there's not many that can match it with him.
I think they backed themselves into a corner a little bit with Ponga. I think they didn't have a choice but to pay that money. Especially when it got the end of it and the Dolphins were in the conversation, and then that article come out that they pulled their offer, and suddenly all these Knights fans thought that Munster was on the table. I don't think Munster was ever on the table.
No, surely
for the
not.
Knights.
No, I don't think so.
And I think the Knights knew that, so they had to lock in Ponga. But as for Ponga, I think against the Dragons, he was easily their best player on the park.
Yeah, 100%.
So he was the only reason they were in that game. Last week, everyone was down for them. They just don't have enough in key positions for me. And I said that in the off-season, and I thought that was why they would finish so low this year. I think I had them bottom 4 at the start of the year. They need a dominant half. I like Jake Clifford, but he needs a better half with him. Adam Clune just isn't the answer there. And they're missing their first choice hooker. You got Kurt Mann playing out of position at lock. He played okay at the start of the year. I think he's getting run over at the moment. He ended up going to fullback in that game on the weekend. They're just missing too much from on.
Yeah. It's been like that for the last couple of years, really, for them. So, unfortunate for them.
Yeah. I don't know how they change it, though. They need to get someone to the club. I said they should have tried to get... they did try and get Luke Brooks. Andrew Johns really wanted to get Luke Brooks to the club. Just another player that is a dominant half, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's go to the Storm. No, I said they have the Storm next.
The Knights do?
Yeah, the Knights have the Storm next. And the Storm are in a mood.
Yeah, they are. Well, like, what was it, yesterday or something? They scored how many points in that second half?
54 points in 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
if the Knights don't show up, that'll be another massacre.
For sure. All right, Claire wants us to talk about the Olakau'atu sin bin. For me, if the Daniel Tupou shot wasn't a sin bin, then we didn't see a sin bin all weekend.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, the Daniel Tupou one was probably the worst one of them all.
Yeah. He actually got hit with a grade 2 careless high tackle, and that's the same charge that Tupou just got.
Okay.
I didn't think there was much in it, but I don't think he would fight it. You can obviously see the shoulder end up making contact with the head.
Yeah.
But I don't think the first contact was with the head, and that's where they've kind of said that isn't a sin bin anymore. They've said if you bounce up and hit the head, it's not a sin bin, it's just on report.
Yeah.
I think his first contact was around here, and then he went on and hit him in the head. So I think it was a bit of a tough one. Tough old night for Manly out there.
Yeah.
How good was Talakai?
He's a wrecking ball, man. He's just like I don't know. He's just he's not so much tall. He's just wide. He'd be so hard to tackle.
He's just a rock.
Yeah.
Just looks like a rock.
Yeah.
Plenty of hashtag early ball for him out there on the weekend.
In the first half, anyway. The second half, they just totally went away from it. They would not give him any early ball in the second half.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. They're like, we got him on the ropes here. He scored 30 points in that first half, attacking that left edge. Let's not do that anymore.
I think Cooler come up with some good moments in the second half, like just shooting out of the line. And if you shoot out of the line, you got to stop the ball, and he managed to stop the ball a couple of times. But if they had to give him some early ball and got him in some space, I think he still would have done a bit of damage for them.
For sure.
Yeah, tough night for Morgan Harper. I felt for him. Do you play him this week?
I think so, yeah. You do play him. I think he's had one rough game. Usually he's a pretty solid centre, so you keep him in there. Yeah.
I like what Desi said after the game. He backed him instead of like... You saw what Ricky done to Xavier Savage last week, and that bloke's lost all confidence. He was terrible on the weekend. But Desi come out and said... Like, Morgan Harper won't say this, but I think he was underdone from his COVID. He'd just come back from COVID. And he just backed his player, and he puts confidence in his players, you know what I mean? And that player's going to want to go out and run through a wall for Desi.
Yeah, exactly. Especially
I mean,
after
so-
he said that. Yeah.
I think it's better to do that than absolutely just destroy your players after the game.
Yeah, right.
Tommy says to talk about how I doubted Cherry, and then he started destroying teams with his kicking game. Seriously, this is one of my best yet. This is one of my best. Teams should pay me for this shit, I reckon.
Go on.
Because if I publicly doubt your team, they will come out and win. 100%. I've got a knack for it at the moment. I said that Manly, at the start, I floated the question to you, is Cherry a lock for Queensland? They weren't playing that well. He wasn't playing that well. 2 weeks later, he might have come out and had the best game with the boot we've seen from a player in like 5 years.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So, here's my idea. I'll drop the PayPal, TryLine YT at gmail.com. For $5, I'll trash any team. If you want your team to pick up a win this week, if you're a Knights fan, you want them to somehow beat the Melbourne Storm. There it is. There's the price. I'll come out and absolutely trash the Knights, and they'll come out and win. Thoughts?
Mate, well, if there's someone willing to pay you $5 just to trash their team, yeah, do it. Go for it.
I will. I'll do a 10-minute podcast about how your team and their club suck for $5, and that will guarantee them a win.
I'll do it for free.
You do it for free.
Yeah, I do.
Luke asks, the Panthers doing the Viking clap. I don't mind this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're getting flogged. Yeah, give it to them.
Yeah, I think you just rub it in a bit.
Yeah.
And if I'm a Raiders fan, I don't mind it that much either, because you think they're going to have a little bit of extra motivation, especially the crowd going to have a little bit of extra motivation when they go there. I think it's round 22. So the crowd will be into it. You already knew it was a hostile game. The players will be up for it. And think about if they find a way to beat Penrith, like how sweet will that win be for them? So it's hard to get up for those games because that team is so much better than them. But every single one of those players will want to be wanting to beat Penrith. Penrith probably already solidified in the 8 by then, round 22. Probably more thinking, I don't want to get no injuries. Like, let's just get through this game and move on. Great moment for the Raiders. So I don't mind it, and I wouldn't mind if I was a Raiders fan either.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, and also I want to stay on the right side of the Panthers fans because we'll be there in a couple of weeks.
What is it? Next weekend, isn't it?
If you were there in the Panthers crowd, would you have got in on the Viking play?
Nah.
I probably would have. I would have got around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan, how Josh Jackson refused to go to media with Barrett, and Shane Flanagan to the Dogs. I think the refuse to go to media with Barrett hasn't been confirmed. That's just speculation. I'm sure there's a reason. Josh Jackson, probably one of the best clubmen to ever play the game. So
yeah.
I don't know if he would shirk his responsibility just for any reason. Shane Flanagan to the Dogs is a no-brainer for me.
You reckon?
Yeah, well, Barrett, maybe the worst record ever for a Bulldogs coach. Hasn't had a lot there, but how long do you put up with the losing?
Maybe just give him another year.
That's a long year.
Well, I mean, you're not going to win games with the roster that they've got. You got to give them time to mesh, to gel.
You go look at the Tigers roster. Not a great roster. They've just won 2 in a row.
Oh, yeah. They're like
you got to find a way to get results. And the Bulldogs, they've been in most games this year. They were in that game the other night. I think they were up at half time. So I don't know how much time you give him. I think Kevy's under pressure at the Broncos.
Surely it can't all be on coach. Well, I think we've spoken about this before. Coaches, and when teams aren't going that well, you can't put most of the blame on the coach, I don't think.
So who do you put it on?
The players.
Personnel. So then do you make a change with the players?
I think you get rid of Dufty, number one.
Well, that'll lead us into our next question. We had one about Dufty. Yeah, Caden. Dog's thinking about moving Addo-Carr to fullback over Dufty. I don't mind moving Dufty, but Addo-Carr's not the answer there.
No, surely not. Addo-Carr's a winger. He's a great winger. I don't know how he'd go at fullback. I don't think he'd do too well.
You need a ball playing. You need a guy that play with the ball back there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at Ruben Garrick, he's been doing a decent job at fullback for Manly.
He doesn't throw a bad cutout ball though, left to right.
Well, we haven't.
And you need that.
We haven't seen Addo to a bit of ball playing, so we don't know.
Well, he's spent his life on the left wing.
Yeah,
I don't even know. Has he passed left to right in his life?
Probably not. Yeah,
right to left. I mean, right to left. Addo Carr not to fullback. I still like the move of Burton to fullback.
I'll play that. I don't mind that. And
he
then
killed it in the centres. I don't see much downside for him because you take him out of the line. He's fresh for the attack anyway. He could still kick for you at fullback. That's not an issue.
Yeah. Well, you saw Reece Walsh last night. I think it was. He did majority of the kicking for the Warriors.
I don't see much downside. If you want him to play the same role in attack, I guess he can. Like, doesn't matter where he chimes in attack. It's only going to be that support play that I worry about a little bit. But I like Burton at fullback.
I'll play that. Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
I like that.
All right. What is next? Who will beat Penrith first? I've got the Storm beating a Magic round in front of 45,000+.
That's in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
I've got them
round 10.
I've got them losing the round before, round 9.
So they're going back to back, you reckon?
It's possible. Well,
they're losing back to back. Let's lock it in.
Actually, let's lock it in. Actually, when's Origin? When's the first game of Origin? That's round 14, is it?
Yeah. Well, they lose 5 in a row.
They're not losing against the Knights.
Nah, I'll say I'm pretty confident that the Storm can get them. It'll be a big Storm crowd too. Most of the people, Queenslanders down there, they'll be going for the Storm.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what? I'm going to... Can I say either round 9 or 10?
No.
Well, yes, I can, actually.
Well, you can say whatever you want, but I wouldn't agree with it.
Round 9 or 10.
All right. What's next for the Bulldogs? I should have lumped all these Bulldogs questions together, but they said, Dogs start to the year as well. Well, we looked at this at the start of the year. It was always going to be tough.
Yeah.
They've probably played a little bit better footy in patches than what a lot of people expected. I guess that's a positive, but they're not winning games.
No.
Doesn't get much easier because they got the Roosters next week on the back of a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is not where you want the Roosters.
Yeah, no, definitely not. But then after that, they got a pretty cruisy couple of weeks with the Knights and the Raiders, so...
That's what I've got to hear too. They've got to look to pick up some points there.
Yeah. And then they got the Tigers, so they've got a few easy weeks ahead.
Yeah, well, a few manageable weeks at least, like a few where you're not expecting them to get blown out of the water straight away.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. Luke Brooks playing alongside Hastings, and Sexy Russell also says Tigers. What have you made of the Tigers the last couple of weeks?
That one against Para was a bit of a fluke, but last week against the Bunnies, they did all right.
Is it a fluke if you win the same way twice in a row?
Yes. Yeah, you can fluke it 2 times the same way.
All right. The exact same way.
The exact same way. Yes.
All right. I think Brooks has been really, really pivotal in the last couple of weeks. I think he's played some good footy at 6. I don't reckon they look a whole lot different, the Tigers. It's just what they're doing has intent about it. That's what they lacked in the first few weeks. Like, they didn't... Anything they done was just going through the motions. The lines they're running, their kick chase, I even think the kicks they're putting in have intent, and their work off the ball, backing up, closing the gate. Everything they do has a purpose, and everyone's buying into that purpose. And I think that's on the back of Jackson Hastings. So
yeah, right.
Sack the other 5 captains, put the C next to his name. He's the leader of this club.
Yeah. You know, he's been doing great over the last 2 weeks. Well, pretty much all year, pretty much. He's been one of the best players all year. Did
he get man of the match against you guys?
I don't know how I would actually see that.
I'll have a look. Because he got man of the match this week. Let's just have a look.
I don't know how do you even get into that? I'd say he probably did.
Every week, mate.
On Insta?
Yeah.
I was on NRL.com.
He did. So, man of the match back-to-back weeks for them. Put the C next to him, I reckon.
Get rid of the others. Get rid of Tyrone Peachy.
Sack the other 5.
Ken Mamalo.
Dewey's due back middle of the year too. That'll help him.
Where you want to play him at centre?
You have to. You can't. This Brooks, Hastings thing just has to last.
Yeah. What if they lose the rest of the games and Hastings or Brooks is just playing really bad?
Which is not too far-fetched.
No, because, I mean, you never know. They could come out next week and just...
That's the Tigers, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Mboko, Broncos form. How do you think they'll go in the next couple of weeks? Look, four of their next 6 are at home, and they've got a bye in there as well. They've got a hard run to start that, but they've got the Sharks, South, and Manly. But then they got the Knights, Titans, and Raiders.
Yep.
If they can jag one of those first 3, somehow find a way to win one of those first 3, and then the next 3 after that are very winnable for them. They go 4 or 6. That's a great 6 weeks for them.
Yeah, well, they've already beaten the Bunnies this year.
Yeah.
They beat them, round 1. So that's not out of the question that they can get them again.
And the Sharks are travelling really well, but they don't have a great record at Suncorp.
Yeah.
So, I'm really excited for that matchup, Talakai and Stags, especially because Stags come out after the game and said, "I'll back myself against Talakai."
Good on him.
Yeah, which is what you want your players to do. Like, what's he meant to say in the interview? Oh, no, I'm scared to play him.
Yeah, no, you'll run over me.
Yeah, I'm going to be sick that week.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into a little bit about the games. We've pretty much talked about most of the footy this weekend. Thanks for your questions. You can send those through on Instagram, and we'll try and get to all of them. Also, if you're watching, I respect you as a person.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, Talakai destroys the Manly Sea Eagles. Pretty much spoke about that one. Broncos, good comeback win against the Bulldogs. They had to win that game.
Yeah.
I felt like at halftime, like if they lost that, Kevy was almost on the chopping block.
Yeah, what was the halftime? 10-6 halftime.
10-6 at halftime. I got really worried when Matt Duffy scored not long after halftime too, and I'm like, oh, these guys are gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was it? 14-6 was it?
I'm pretty sure it was 14-6 at one point, yeah. And then it was the Adam Reynolds show after that, I thought.
You thought he did well?
Yeah, Adam Reynolds scored a good try. His kicking game was great, and they just, when they got on a roll, they kind of kicked on. End score there, 34-14. Bulldogs lose their 6th in a row.
6, yeah.
Yeah. Not that great. Cowboys game, 30-4. I don't think many people saw this one coming.
I don't know, we didn't. It was a blowout.
I never see a Cowboys win coming, baby.
You're just going to tip against them every week, aren't you?
Every single week. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Also, the Cowboys get 50 put on them from the Eels next week.
Yeah, probably. 50 or 60. Maybe 80. Maybe another
Tom
80.
Dearden, top 5'8" right now in the comp.
Maybe.
Yep.
I think he's up there. If he's not top, if he's not top 5, he's up there, up and around there.
He's killing it. Tom Dearden's killing it. And that's what I was talking about before, intent. Everything he does has intent behind it. You know, there's meaning behind what he's trying to do. He's trying to achieve something. When he runs the ball, when he passes the ball, when he tackles, everything about it. He's playing really good. Townsend's killing me. Just killing me spirit. I think I said last week, every time he touches the ball, I go flaccid. He's just an absolute straight killer. Scott Drinkwater's playing really well. He needs to retain the fullback spot for mine, even when the Hammer comes back. I think Scott Drinkwater's got to be the fullback. Going forward, Tigers 23, Rabbitohs 22. Great game here from the Tigers.
Yeah, for sure. What was it? What did they complete? Like, they didn't complete one set all game, I think. 1 or 2 sets. They were great with the footy.
Yeah.
What was it?
I think Luke Brooks was he was really, really good. Yeah, 46 out of 48.
Yeah. Well, here's an interesting stat. Both Parramatta and the Bunnies both completed under 70%. So...
That's not good.
No. Not taking anything from the Tigers. They played really well.
Yeah, but how many teams win a game when they complete 69%?
Not many, if any.
No. Let's talk about poor completions. The old Newcastle Knights, 39-2. What's doing here?
Is this how it should be? This is how last week should have been.
Yeah.
But of course the Tigers come out and start playing well as soon as they fucking play Parramatta. It's a stitch up.
23 out of 34 sets completed for the Knights in this one. They were just nowhere. They weren't in this game at all, at any time.
Yeah, no, not at all. Well,
You can see their confidence is way down. They took the 2 to start with when they had a little bit of momentum. And then Sean Lane. I thought Sean Lane was great in this game.
Yeah, no, he was. Well, I thought most of Parramatta's plays were great. Mitch Moses was awesome. Sean Lane. Papali'i did well.
Now, Dylan Brown played well in the centres, but that move, I can't get around it.
Oh, my God.
Dylan Brown could have scored 14 tries in that game, and I still would have been like, you're not ever moving him to the centres for Jake Arthur to be in the team.
I think Jake Arthur just needs to be dropped. Like
he's bad.
He is so bad. Like, he's not a good defender. He's can't kick.
That kick he put in that went dead.
Oh, my God.
That was just a bludger. An absolute bludger. I'll tell you who should be the starting halves for the Dolphins next year. Chad Townsend and Jake Arthur. What do you think?
Why? Why?
Premiership?
No, that's not a premiership.
Just gets him out of our club. That's why.
All right, yeah. Actually, yes.
Premiership,
yeah.
Yeah. Panthers 36 over the Raiders 6. This went however unexpected to go.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was close early. I think they were in it probably 25 minutes, half an hour in. It was kind of neck and neck, bit of back and forth. But after that, Penrith just ran away with it.
What Isaiah Yeo does in the middle of the field is so underrated. Like, he didn't poll this week, I don't think. I think he probably deserved a point. He's ball playing, and his ability to get the ball to either side of the park so quickly he's really, really good.
Yeah, no, he is for sure.
I think he scored in this one, did he?
He did. He got a try in the 32nd minute, he says.
Yeah. So he's just outstanding. ANZAC Day game. Dragons, Roosters definitely delivered. Really liked this game.
It did. It was awesome.
Jack Bird, I thought, was best player on the field in the first half.
I thought he was great.
Yeah.
I thought he was awesome. But unfortunately, he's broken his arm, it seems.
Yeah, that was off that Suwali hit.
Was that off that Suwali hit?
Yeah, when he broke through the line and Suwali smashed him.
Yeah. I thought he looked fine after that.
Yeah, that broke his forearm.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. That's how I broke my forearm at Woy. That's how I broke my arm.
You got smacked.
I got smacked, run on the last.
Oh.
Stupid. Down the short side.
Wow.
Scored three tries in that first half, though, before I broke my arm.
Was I up there? Was I in that game?
Yeah. You got concussed. That was the day you got concussed.
Yeah.
Yeah, good day. We won 36-6 or something.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, on to the last game. To spare Warriors fans, you get one sentence about this game. That's it. They've been through enough.
Look,
I don't get one sentence. Choose your words.
I'll
carefully.
just one word: massacre.
Massacre. That's fair enough.
Massacre.
All right, we'll be back on Wednesday to preview all of round 8. Hopefully, the Cowboys flog the Eels. It's the Cowboys versus the Eels. It's the Cowboys versus the Eels show. I can't wait.
Wear your retro jersey.
I'll tell you what. This week, Dylan Brown back to the centres. That's what I'm thinking. Start Jake Arthur.
Yeah, drop Mitch Moses for Jake Arthur.
Is it the matchup of the year? Jake Arthur and Chad Townsend.
Yes. That's what we've all been waiting for.
That's what we've all been waiting for. That's why they got him in the team last week. Just a little bit of warm up for Jake Arthur.
Yep.
Get him ready for the big Chad Townsend.
Yeah.
The battle of the hair. All right. That's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Say goodbye to this thing.
Ciao.
It'll be here all week. Cheers.
Cheers.
They can still see you.
Can they?